on an all-new Dr. Phil. A bitter divorce.
He's a horrible husband.
A new marriage.
Somebody spit in my husband's face because you told them that he didn't pay his child support.
A constant battle.
You called me names. You sent police to our home.
You said that they poisoned your son.
I said that she overdosed him on cough syrup.
You said she poisoned him.
But who's to blame?
We need to still be a family.
You're the reason we're not.
There have been 100 police reports, allegations of kidnapping, overdosing, brainwashing, and alienating.
And who's breaking the law?
I'm going to turn the whole bunch of you in. I'm just telling you straight up. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Well, Marla and Marty went through a bitter divorce in 2013. Marty then married Jennifer, and a shared parenting plan was eventually finalized with his ex that clearly stated neither party shall annoy, molest, interfere with, or harass the other in any manner, either directly or indirectly. Now, how do you suppose that worked out? They didn't come here because it worked out well. They did not listen. To date, the police have been called over 100 times to address alleged breaches of the parenting agreement. Now, according to Jennifer and Marty, Marla called the police one time with claims that Jennifer poisoned her 10-year-old son, David, and also accused her another time of kidnapping him. Jennifer has called 911 a few times on Marla, who she claims abused David. So who is at fault here? One thing is for sure, the child is paying the price for this parenting drama. Take a look.
Marty's ex-wife, Marla, is erratic, unstable, and she's crazy.
Marla is very controlling of my son.
Marla hates my guts, and she will do anything she can to make my life miserable.
She has turned my son against me.
Marla is constantly making up excuses why David can't see us, why he can't call us, why he can't visit or talk to us.
I'm not trying to keep my son from Marty and Jennifer, but they can't understand if he doesn't want to go over there. If I mention to David about seeing his father, he refuses and says he's not going.
When Marla doesn't let us see David, we don't play games. We go straight to the police.
We have probably filed 100 or more contempt of court charges against her, and we have spent over $40,000 in legal fees. She's mean, vindictive, and paranoid. Marla loves to use social media in a way to attack Marty and I. She calls Marty in her post a deadbeat dad and accuses him of not paying child support. I've been called a whore. I think Marla is completely delusional. She does have mental issues.
Once I was out of town, I got a phone call from the police department saying my son David was missing.
Marla told the police that she thought I had kidnapped David. About an hour after the police knocked on my door, they found David playing at the park.
Once David was at our home, and he had a little bit of a cough. So Jennifer gave him some cough medicine.
David was vomiting and throwing up. And at that point, we texted Marla. Marla sent the police to our home. Marla insisted that we had poisoned him with cough medicine.
The most disturbing was the time when David showed up with bruises on his body.
He was so nervous when we asked him about him. He had bruises all up and down his legs and all up and down his arms. And you can tell that they were from a handprint on his arm because you couldn't line up the hand. He said that he fell off of his scooter, but I know there is no way he got those bruises that way.
We contacted the police and Child Protective Services.
Somebody in Marla's household is responsible for it.
We're at a very critical moment. Marla's house is in foreclosure. She doesn't seem to have a plan or where David will be living. It's horrible that my son David is caught in the middle.
Okay, guys, I'm really glad you're here for reasons that might be apparent, maybe not. We'll get to that soon. But what's going on here? Why is this such a drama?
You know, it's hard. I watch my husband. He's a very hard worker. He's a very good provider, and he's a very good father. And to have these accusations, it's just ridiculous. They're not true. And, you know, my husband has been to the grocery store, had somebody spit in his face, telling him that he didn't pay his child support. He can't pick up his children alone. He's been arrested.
Why do you think this is going on? I mean, you were married to this woman for 28 years, right?
Yes.
Would you have predicted this?
Yes. She always made the threats. If we ever divorced, I'd never see my kids, and I'd die a lonely man.
How long has it been since you've seen your son?
June 2nd, after the court hearing, the last court hearing.
Marla's allegation is that you two physically abused David on Thanksgiving. So there's two sides to this. She says you guys are not safe for him to be around.
That's not true. We were watching him ride his scooter up and down our street when the police pulled in and told us that it was a welfare check and that he was very sorry that he had to disturb us on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I got problems here that I haven't even begun to get to. Marla says Jennifer is a crazy, manipulative, and interfering troublemaker. She also claims to have been harassed, stalked, and threatened by Marty and Jennifer. Take a look.
Before I confront Marty and Jennifer on stage, this is what I want Dr. Phil to know. All of these ridiculous accusations and crazy things they do to get back at me hurt David. Jennifer and Marty are out to make my life a living hell.
Paranoia and the accusations, it's exhausting.
Marty is not a good father and was a horrible husband. Jennifer has to be in the middle of everything. Marty condones all of her behavior. If he doesn't, he certainly hasn't tried to do anything to stop it. The bottom line is, I think Jennifer is a troublemaker. She needs to butt out and mind her own business. When my youngest son, David, comes back from his dad's house, he says all they do is talk bad about me and his siblings and dragging me back into court for something. This is just wrong. A child shouldn't have to go through all of this. Marty has a very quick temper, and it scares me. He's threatened to kill me. Marty has even stalked me. One time I was taking a walk, and I turn around, and he's just driving behind me. Jennifer does it too. If David and I are out taking a walk, here she comes driving around the house. Marty and Jennifer just need to leave me alone. This has got to stop.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. Do y'all live nearby each other?
Yes.
Okay, so these two are stalking you.
Yes.
I mean, but what's the purpose? What's the goal?
I have no idea. I am just trying to take care of my children, and I don't know what the deal is, but we can't do anything. I mean...
How often have you caught them stalking you?
I can't even count. They've had people following me. Dr. Phil...
Other people besides themselves?
Yes, my lawyer told me that they had someone following me.
Marla, that's ridiculous.
How do they know that?
That's ridiculous.
How does your lawyer know that?
He said their lawyer told him that, and he said it was harassment, and I said yes.
Their lawyer confessed to your lawyer
Yes.
that they had someone harassing you?
Yes.
You need to get a new lawyer.
That's what I'm thinking.
Their lawyer told your lawyer they were stalking you? Does this seem odd to you?
This whole situation is so bizarre that I can't... I contacted the show 4 years ago when this whole started because my older son Danny, who was here, was having so much trouble, and I was so worried about him.
That's not why you contacted the show.
They refused to go.
Because you wanted to come on here and talk about affairs, is what, and we did not. You were willing to air your dirty panties, is what you said in a Facebook post on your Facebook, January 2014.
I have never posted anything on my Facebook
That's a lie.
About this.
We have it.
That is
we have
not,
it here.
Then you fabricated it with all the things you make up.
I did not
with your
fabricate
stalking.
that.
For all I know, you've made up another Facebook page of me. And my children and my friends know that I don't put my personal business all over Facebook.
Okay, well, there's a blueprint. They can follow that. There's an IP address.
Let them follow it. It didn't come from anything
would.
that I made up.
Because
okay? I sent a text message to the two of you, I believe, when I said, you know, you want to badmouth me all over town and humiliate Danny to where he won't even go to school, but you won't go to Dr. Phil and air our dirty panties to find out the truth. I believe was what I said.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm sure that they probably have the whole reason that you contacted them in the first place, and it wasn't due to the children. It was because you wanted to come and talk about an affair that my husband had prior to me even meeting him. You have called me a whore.
When I filed my divorce, you were thrilled, you were joyful. He wanted to take off with the girlfriend in Florida, or was it the one in Scotland? Which is fine, I don't care.
Well, apparently you do, because you're still talking about it. listen, there is under no theory am I here to reconcile this relationship. I'm here for one reason, and that's this child is caught in the middle of this ridiculous crossfire between you folks, and that's troubling to me. It's really troubling to me. Now, Marty says Marla is jealous and needs to just move on. So what does Marla have to say about that? Is she jealous? We're going to find out when we come back. You said that they poisoned him.
I said that she overdosed him on cough syrup.
Is overdose better?
You sent the police to our home.
Plus, I consider this to be an urgent situation of this child being in danger. I am either going to come up with a plan that you're going to adopt, or I'm going to turn the whole bunch of you in.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at, I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
An all-new Celebrity IOU is here. As new stars go big in giving back.
Bam! You made my life.
Celebrity IOU, all new Monday night at 9 on HGTV.
I've been taught not to open up.
Love and Marriage DC returns.
What more do I need to give you?
With all new episodes. Love and Marriage DC returns January 2023, part of Real Drama Weekends on OWN.
I'm taking you down bit by bit. I can't wait to see you try.
It's only just begun.
Tonight.
We're gonna be outnumbered with number 3.
We're getting pulled in different directions. That can be very challenging.
Tori's water broke.
Look at that.
Little People, Big World, all new tonight at 9 on TLC.
Bring home a spellcasting adventure with the Harry Potter Magic Caster Wand.
Stupefy!
Connect your smart devices, cast spells, and witness the magic come to life. Lights.
Lumos Maxima.
Sounds.
Media loading.
And your TV.
Expecto Patronum. Cool.
The Harry Potter Magic Caster Wand. Order now.
Next on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I think I saw an interview, and they asked Mel how she doing with Martell's new boo thing. Oh, she felt probably happier when he was leveling down. But the level up is kind of a gut punch.
Hey, Martell?
Hey, what up? And don't keep me outside all this damn
Yeah,
heat.
it's outside today.
You gonna invite me to that house? Don't play with me like that.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. New episode, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Marla is jealous of Jennifer and myself.
She is envious of the relationship and the great life that we have together. She thinks that maybe if I had not come into the picture that they may still be together.
Did they seriously say that? No.
I think Marla has regrets about leaving me and filing for divorce.
I feel like since her divorce from Marty, she has not moved on with her life.
I was married to him for 28 years. That was long enough.
Well, that was Marla saying jealousy has nothing to do with this. Marla claims her 10-year-old son David does not want anything to do with her ex-husband Marty or his new wife Jennifer. Marla says her son has seen and heard things that no child should ever be exposed to. But Marty and Jennifer say that Marla is delusional and has falsely accused them of brainwashing, kidnapping, poisoning, and abusing David. Now, when you say that they have abused him physically.
I haven't said that.
Well, you said that they poisoned him.
I said that she overdosed him on cough syrup.
Well, you said she poisoned him.
No, never. I didn't.
Well, okay, we'll use the word overdosed him.
That's
Is that better?
what I said.